The young Prophet Muhammad, when a tree bowed and a camel vanished. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the story of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, when he was 12 years old, continuing from the previous episode that covered his early years before the age of 12. Now we continue with the journey of Prophet Muhammad to Sham, Syria, when he was around 12 years old, accompanied by his uncle. There were three remarkable events that took place during this journey. 1. The story of Monk Bahira and the sign of prophethood. This story was already discussed in the previous episode. 2. The story of the tree that gave salutations. On their way to Sham, Muhammad and the Quraysh caravan stopped to rest near a large tree in the middle of the barren desert. Muhammad, peace be upon him, sat under the tree for shade. From a distance, Monk Bahira observed and was astonished to see the tree bending its branches as if it were shading Muhammad, peace be upon him, from the sun. This was no ordinary sight. He immediately approached the caravan and asked, "Who is that young boy sitting under the tree?" The Quraysh people replied, "He is Muhammad, the nephew of Abu Talib." The monk was even more surprised and said, "No one has ever sat under that tree except a prophet." Some narrations also mention that before Muhammad sat down, the tree's leaves moved as if greeting and honoring him. This convinced Bahira even more that this child was extraordinary. To this day, the tree, known as the Sahabi tree, still stands in Jordan. It remains the only large tree surviving in the middle of the barren desert for over 1,400 years, while all other vegetation around it has long perished. 3. A funny moment. Muhammad and the lost camel. During the journey, the Quraysh caravan faced a problem. One of their camels went missing. The traders started to panic and searched everywhere. Abu Talib also became worried, as the lost camel carried valuable goods. As everyone was frantically looking, young Muhammad calmly said, "Don't worry, let me find it." At first, the adults thought this was just a child's confidence, but Muhammad remained determined and went searching with certainty. By carefully observing the footprints in the sand, Muhammad followed the likely path of the missing camel. After a while, he found the camel grazing behind a small hill. Without fear, he approached the camel, gently stroked its head, took hold of its rope, and led it back to the caravan. When the people saw Muhammad returning with the lost camel, they were amazed. "How did you find it so quickly?" one of the traders asked. With a light smile, Muhammad replied, "I just followed the tracks and thought about where it might have gone." Everyone laughed with relief and became even more impressed with his intelligence and composure despite his young age. These are some of the well-known stories of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, at the age of 12. There are many more to explore. Subscribe, like, and share to hear the story of Prophet Muhammad at the age of 15 in the next episode. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.